Okay, let's get on the road. 2018 Mustang with a Cobra jet intake. It has a Steeda cold air, Lund tune. Let's get it rolling. Sounds awesome. Now let's buckle up for safety. It is a Mustang after all. So let's talk about this car from a performance perspective. So this is a 2018 Mustang GT. So the 18 Mustangs got the Gen 3 5-liter. So remember, the Gen 1 5-liter is in the 11 to 14 Mustang. Those have what people would say a weaker bottom end, which is kind of relative, because if you think about it, it's a car that can still hold like 700 wheel horsepower on the stock bottom end, which everybody now, they want 1,000 horsepower, so it's a weaker engine. Then you have the Gen 2s that came in the 15 to 17 Mustangs. Those have like revised cams and a stronger bottom end. Technically, a lot of people use those for swaps. In my New Edge Mustang, I have one of those swapped in. And then you have this, the Gen 3 5.0, which is going to be direct injected and port injected. So especially if you ever want to do boost like a Whipple or a Pro Charger, you just boost the pump. You can probably supply the fuel that you need. E85 as well. You don't have to upgrade injectors. Then you have a higher compression. It's a 12.0 to 1 compression, which is like ridiculous. That's like a race motor. Think about it, like 12 to 1 compression is race status, and that's why these engines, being little 5-liter engines, these things outwork a lot of bigger engines here. So it's probably the shining star of Ford right now, this engine. People have done what we've seen, especially with Lund, 7-second quarter miles on the stock bottom end Gen 3 Coyote. Yeah, it's not gonna be something that's like reliable, or you're gonna build that for a customer for longevity, but shit, I mean, that still is fucking impressive. And that's what these cars are. They're just impressive for what they are. So let's open it up a little bit. Cool, that top end is dumbo. Oh my God, dude, the top end of this car. It just, it's not like the Scat Pack at all. The Scat Pack drops off after like 6. After 6, and like it's still pushing, it's still pulling. But it's like, you can tell it's not in its prime power band. Man, this thing runs all the way up to 7,500 and just keeps pulling at 10 speed. Gear ratios are right there. Now I see why everybody in Houston, Texas has these bitches gutted and with a slick, and they're running like 10-second quarter miles. Shifts like fucking hit, bruh. I've never been so ecstatic with a vehicle, like I would say I haven't been so impressed with a vehicle. Because everybody talks about 10-speed Mustang this, 10-speed Mustang that. You go on TikTok, every other post is something about 10-speed Mustangs and how awesome they are. I'm just like, okay, it's a Mustang. I mean, it can't be that good. It's that good. Now, keeping in mind, this car isn't stock, it's tuned. It has the Cobra jet intake, Steeda cold air. I mean, it's not stock, but this thing would roast my CTSV. I'm not even gonna lie. That's why I'm building the CTSV right now, because they got shit like this that exists for super easy bolt-ons. This car is probably gonna run like this is a solid 1180, 1170 car, just the way it feels. It doesn't have a tire on it, but I mean, 1180, 1170, that's like Z06, that's like C6 Z06 fast for back in the day. And this is like a Mustang GT. This is like oh, it's not a GT500, it's a Mustang GT type deal. It's like, it's still fucking impressive. Let me do this hit real quick. Spinning. Oh, that shift. That shift. It sounds good, pulls nice. I'm surprised with the Cobra jet. It's not like something that it kills all the low end torque. Maybe if you look at a dyno graph, this is the whole thing. Everybody looks at dyno sheets and thinks that a dyno sheet is exactly what you need for a car. Yeah, peak numbers are awesome, but what about those average numbers? Like, well, I mean, that's kind of really how the game goes when you're driving this thing every single day. But it's probably killing some low end torque, but not by much. This thing still feels fucking strong. Even below 3,000, it still has a nice little oomph to it. Doesn't have an oomph like the 392. 392 at 3,000, I can hit it, it'll blow the tires loose. This one, not so much, but it's kind of how it goes. Now, other than how fast this car is, there's other areas where we need to focus on when it comes to interior. Now, if you're upgrading from, let's say, like an 11 or 14 Mustang to a 2018, obviously the interior is going to blow you away. You have Apple CarPlay. I mean, the interior and setup is very, very nice. Now, if you're coming from a 15 to 17, you're already carrying over 90% of the materials either way. So with the 2018 Mustang, you have the option of the digital dash. This one that I'm using right now doesn't have it. Now there's conversion kits where if you have a base 2018 or a base 15 to 17, you can upgrade to the digital dash also as well. The seats are very, very comfortable for a person my size. I'm 6'2", 300 pounds. Fit in it fine. It's not as comfortable as the Scat Pack that I previously reviewed, but I mean, that is a very sizable car, and with that size comes that weight penalty. So from a daily driven perspective, if I had to live with this car every single day, could I do it? Definitely. This car is, if you're not fully in it, if you're not trying to roast tires at every stoplight, it's a very livable car. It drives almost like a V6 base model car. There's really no downsides to it. Now with the Mopar, since that one was bolt-ons, headers, even at the low end, it was loud. This car has a Roush exhaust, and it just sounds much better. This is a very, very good package. This is probably the best car, all-around car that I probably ever drove. It just fits every little piece so well. So, for example, in my opinion, if you guys are looking for a 2018 and up Mustang, go get one. This is the performance bargain of the century right now for how easy you can go fast for cheap. And then it's still a nice livable car that you don't have to sacrifice a daily driver to make it a race car. So hopefully this makes sense. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got more reviews coming up. I'm still building my projects. Our projects are going to be on the channel very, very soon. Like, favorite, and subscribe. Tell me what you want me to review next, and I'll do it. Let's go. 337 speed.